What's up, YouTubers? Back at the garage again, getting a little more work done on Shell's Renegade. Today, prepping the frame. I'm going to bring it to work tomorrow and have a friend weld up the frame. If you've been following my videos on the Renegade build, then you would have seen when we first bought it, there was a little small rust hole in the top of the frame right on this side. Yeah, that wasn't the case. We had it up on the lift, started poking at it from underneath, cleaning out dirt and mud and all sorts of crap from the years, and there's a whole lot of rust on this frame, unfortunately. There's a big hole right at the top of the shock mount, which actually the shock mount is now gone, and then a little farther down on the inside of the frame rail, right behind the fuel filter, that is very rotted out as well. So today I'm going to cut out all the rot, get it cleaned up and prepped, and then tomorrow I'm going to have my buddy, we're going to rebox that whole section of the frame. And then bring it back here to this garage, paint it up, and should be in good shape. Put the shock out, bottom part came out okay, but the top obviously needs a little work. I started cutting it the other day, started making a video, and I tripped the breaker in here. And I had not found my breaker box yet, so I didn't know about it. Called the landlord. He said to try twisting some wires together that are in the back of the garage. So I went to go do that and found the breaker box, flipped the switch. Good to go, got power again, so I'm going to try to finish cutting through this nut and bolt here, get this knocked out, and then the shock will be ready to go in after we do the frame repair and get the new shock mount welded on. So Michelle got me this air compressor for Christmas, which is awesome. I've wanted one for a long time. Unfortunately, it's just not quite big enough to handle running the cutting wheel for long periods of time. But still good enough to get the job done, and works pretty well for all my other air tools, so I'm pretty grateful. Okay, so just sliced my finger open. I'm going to take a quick break. I usually freak out about little cuts like that because I did end up cutting myself open real bad one day working with a cutting wheel, so I tend to get a little panicked whenever something like that happens. But all good. Little band-aid, fresh pair of gloves. Let's keep it moving. So yeah, you know how I said I get a little panicked whenever I slice myself like that? Well, it's going pretty good. That was about, I don't know, what, 5 minutes? I don't know. Should be alright. Kind of sucks, though. Alright, so this next part should be interesting, and that is removing what remains of the original shock mount on this rusted, rotted part of the frame. I'm going to try to hammer it off with my air chisel here. That's how we started taking it off, and then we realized that the hole was a lot bigger, but let's see if we can finish the job. Of course, it helps if things work. You guys might get shaken up a bit here. Might be better to take this wheel off. I gotta finish getting this off up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's the rest of the shock mount. Alright, I think I might leave that little bit just because, one, it'll be easier to get off on a lift, and two, is it'll give me a reference for where to put the new one. Alright, so that's the gist of it. I'm going to try and clean as much rust off as I can. Spray it down with some of that rust fix stuff. So it's starting to get kind of late. I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. I'm going to spray this down with a little bit of this rust inhibitor. And then tomorrow, take it to shop, get it welded up. Alright, well, that wraps it up for today. Got a frame pretty well prepped up. Tomorrow goes into the shop. We're going to weld on some steel, rebox that side of the frame, weld on the new shock mount, and then it'll be safe again, and that will be nice. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the shop.